99.1 FM, CKXS. It is another Saturday morning and another Saturday morning real estate show here. Riverside Realty joins us every Saturday morning. Pete Allaer is back with us again. Good morning to you, Pete.
Good morning, Greg.
Thanks for coming in today. I love our times together.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
Well, it's more for me than it is for you. You're working. I'm just here getting educated on real estate, which I love, right?
Right.
And I guess one of the things that you wanted to talk about today was more of the investment side, which I love. I love listening to investment opportunities when it comes to real estate. I'm on board 100%. I mean, this building that we're in right now, we bought this building. We lease it back to our company. It has, to be honest, next month, it's paid off.
Right.
So we've paid for this building through the time of, instead of paying somebody else,
right, over
10 years, we paid it off. So, I mean, I love where we're going with the show today. So let's help people own an investment.
Yeah, I get quite a few calls from people that are sort of thinking about getting into this type of a business, we'll call it, because it is. And I mean, I have rental properties myself, residential rentals. I have a few of them. So, I've been through it, and I've been in it now for almost 25 years. So I've gotten quite a bit of experience with kind of the side of owning rentals. The first thing I say to people, it's not for everyone. It's not a get rich quick scheme at all. It's a long-term sort of idea. Can it pay off? Absolutely. If you manage it right, it can pay off. Residential rentals at this point are certainly the most in demand. I've owned some combination commercial residential, like this building is a combo, right? Residential up top, commercial at the bottom. We have a lot of those types of buildings downtown Wallaceburg. That's not a bad mix, but there's certain things that buyers that are looking at these things, there's certain things buyers need to sort of be aware of before they get into it. And the first thing is that if it's a second residence to where you live or an investment property, there's a higher down payment that's required.
Right.
Depending on your financial institution, but I'm going to say it's going to be at least 20%. Sometimes they want 25%. When you are qualifying for these types of mortgages, they won't, on the onset, they will not include the rent as revenue to in your income.
Right.
So you have to be reasonably well established kind of to initially start. Once you get going, it's a little easier, but the other thing you have to remember is the key to investment property is good tenants. Yeah. That's like 100, when you would know with having some.
Love my tenants, love them.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? So getting...
You're going to get phone calls over issues that go wrong, and I mean, if you have a really good tenant, sometimes a good tenant will take the initiative on some things instead of the small little things that you might be required to do as a landlord, right?
Right.
So that good tenant is a big part of the whole picture.
Yeah,
and you not being annoyed by, you may have to, hey, if somebody's water stops running and you're the landlord, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve and they call you and say, hey, my furnace quit.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're gonna have to make sure you get that furnace going.
You got to get her done.
And you have to be so those are the things I tell a lot of investors that have never done it before. Say, look, these are the things you have to be aware of. And some people are like, you know what, I don't want that. So it's like after I have this conversation with them, they're like, yeah, I don't know, maybe not. Others are like, no, you know what, I can do this. And initially, I tell the story about how when I got started in it. I had a little bit of money. I think at the time I had 10 grand or something that I was like, okay, what do I do with this 10 grand? And that's happening right now because interest rates are so low. People are like, do you put it in the stock market or what? So at the time I said, well, I don't know. I don't know anything about the stock market. I was like, that was 25 years ago,
Right.
so I was 10.
I still don't know anything about the stock market, by the way. But,
right. No, you're right. But I thought, well, I know what a house is. I know what a duplex is. My father-in-law was in rentals, so I kind of sort of got groomed a bit through him, and I saw kind of what he did. So I was like, well, I can probably do this, right? So my wife and I bought a duplex, right? So I took the $10,000, I put it down, I borrowed the different, the mortgage, blah blah blah, and the way I looked at it with that down payment was, if I take my $10,000 and stick it in the bank and get whatever I can get, next to nothing,
right?
Or do I stick it in the stock market and hope that I have a good stock that's stable and gives me dividends and stuff? Or do I take that $10,000, buy a $50,000 at the time, 25 years ago, $50,000 duplex, and then work through it that way? All I kept, every rental I ever bought, I kept saying, all right, as long as it totally pays for itself and I'm not pulling money out of my pocket, then I'm good, because eventually it's paid for, right? So that's kind of the way I went about it. And again, that's why it's not short term. It's not a quick fix to make money. It's more of a, it's
very conservative, though. I mean, if you don't mind the extra work of taking care of tenants and maybe some upkeep that you have to do, it's a very stable investment that you do long term.
Yes.
Because 20 years from now, when it's paid for,
that's
and
right,
you want to turn around and sell it, if you've maintained it properly, it can be a nice little windfall for you.
Yeah, and even if I've always said, who knows what the values are going to do moving forward.
Right.
You don't know, but you're saying, let's just say that it's for sure going to be worth what you paid for it if you look after it. But the tenant has paid for this, right, over the years. Then you're like, okay, well, I took my 10, and over say 20 years, I have something now worth 50 or 60,000. I either keep it at the time, and now my mortgage payment's gone, or at that time I say, hey, I'm going to sell it and hope to use that as retirement. I mean, it's not, you don't want to put every single penny into that, but I think it's a real good portfolio tool,
right,
to try to do. But again, not for everybody. You have to have thick skin. You have to be able to take phone calls, and it's a two-way street with tenants. I mean, if you're a good landlord, it's easier to get good tenants because it's two-way street. If your tenant calls you and says, oh, this is wrong, and you never fix anything, well, then you're kind of as bad as a tenant, let's say. If now, tenants can be awesome, and then other tenants can be not so awesome.
Very politically correct answer there by Pete Hiller, who joins us today from Riverside Realty, talking about investment properties that you might want to consider. Before we wrap up here, what's your worst thing that's ever happened to you as the landlord? What would you say? You got a bad one, or do you want to go good? You want to go, what's the best thing that's ever happened to you?
Well, I'll give you the best first.
Yeah.
Best is 80% of my tenants are absolutely awesome. 10% are a little more trying. So, you get 10% of them. And this is in general.
Yeah.
I'm not saying today. I'm just saying in general.
Not the ones that you currently
have.
No,
I'm just saying in general.
Years.
But 80% have been awesome. Good people. I've met so many interesting, nice people. I mean, I've sold a few of them houses, like afterwards. They're tenants and they bought a house. And that's awesome. I love to see that because, they're great people. 10% of that, the next 10% are also good, but a little more trying. And then you get the last 10%, I would say, that are just very, very hard to deal with. And probably the worst story is, somebody moves in and they're the greatest tenant in the world. They tell you everything you want to hear. They get in there. They pay you first. I always say if they walk through the door and have first and last month's cash in their hand, that'll be the first and last money you ever see.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because they want to get in. They're in there, and then they stop paying. And then, of course, you have to go through. You have to go through the steps to get them out, and it's not easy, and it can be cumbersome. But again, we'll go to that 90%. Are good people. They just need a place to live. I mean, right now the demand for rentals is crazy.
Yeah,
it's
agreed.
crazy. I probably get almost a call a day. people calling me both because I'm in real estate and also because a lot of people know I have rentals.
Right.
They'll be calling me saying, "Hey, have you got anything? You know of anything?"
Wow.
It just, we need houses. We need more residential. We need housing. Bottom line. So, but it is a good way to go, and it's it's a good investment, but you just have to go in with your eyes wide open.
Yep, good advice. I'd do it all over again if I had a chance that there was a good property out there for sure. It's a great investment, and as you said, a nice addition to your portfolio if you're looking at retirement in the next 10, 20 years. All right, that's Pete Allaer today from Riverside Realty. We'll take a little bit of a break here, back to a song, and then we're back with more about the legal side of getting real estate coming up here at 99.1 FM. 99.1 CKXS back with Pete Allaer today from Riverside Realty on the All About Real Estate show. Good information earlier about the legal side. Last week we talked a little bit about declutter, and we've got a few people suggested to us and a couple of messages today about, can you walk us through the declutter thing again and just maybe a couple of the key things that we should consider or what you mean by decluttering when it comes to listing your house?
Yeah, so I had a question on clarifying a little bit about the decluttering thing. So when I talk about decluttering, it's quite simple. I start with closets. So you go to your closet, open your closet. I mean, if it's right full of stuff and like there's things falling out of your closet, then I'm going to tell you that, yeah, you need to declutter that closet. So take the things out. I mean, if you're selling your house, you're probably moving. If you're moving, do you really want to carry all the, let's say, junk with you and then throw it away? No, you might as well just get rid of the stuff you're not going to want to move anyway. So in the decluttering process, get rid of your junk that you're probably not going to want to take with you when you move, and then it's gone. The things you want to keep, you're better off having one room with, let's say, 5 or 10 totes that are nicely stacked than having 1 or 2 boxes in the bottom of every closet. Because when people walk in, they see a room with 10 totes. They're like, yeah, okay, the people are moving. Yeah, we get it. They live here. It's call it organized junk, right?
Right.
If they see every closet is full of stuff, the first thing they say, I've seen it 100 times, they open the closet, they close the closet. That can be a massive closet. If it's full, the first thing going through their mind is, oh man, this house does not have much storage space. Yeah. Everything's full. So that's just on the closet thing, right? The other thing is,
great tip.
Yeah, the other thing is outside. Go outside your house, walk around your house, like cut your grass, pull out the weeds in your flower bed, take the kids' toys that are in the backyard, let's say, scattered about, organize them. Everybody knows you have to live in your house, and they realize that. But just that type of thing can go a long way. If you got a lot of weeds growing in your driveway, get rid of the weeds. Just those little things. When you walk around your house, I try to tell people, try to put yourself into a buyer's head. So walk around your house looking at your house as if you're a buyer.
Right.
And it's hard to do, but if you can do that, but those are kind of two quick. The outside and the closet thing are two quick things that can help a lot.
We forget what our clutter looks like. We just get used to it. We
Absolutely
become accustomed to it, and then we forget that other people might not be impressed by our clutter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't look at my desk before you leave today, okay, Pete?
Yeah.
Let's talk about a couple of listings that you might have. You got one in particular you wanted to mention today?
Yeah, I got a couple. I've got one that's just came up here earlier in the week. It's an absolute awesome spot. It's, I think in my ad I've got in there the Key West of southwestern Ontario. It really, really is. It's unbelievably spot there on Island Mooring Club, just out by the marinas, just south of Port Lambton. That one's at 4749 Riverside Drive.
On the water?
On the water, right on the water, right at the end of the Sny. You just pop out of the Sny, and there you are in the big river. The other one that we have also south of Port Lambton that's coming soon, like these ones have been doing. It's 4683 St. Clair Parkway. It's a one-floor brick, full basement, newer build. It's just south of Lambton on the just south of Brander Park. Right, got the river or the walking trail right in front of you. It's a great spot there as well. It's coming. It'll be, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll be up. So anyone looking for a 1-floor awesome retirement home, because it's 1 floor, you can live on the main floor, and you got the basement for your kids coming back to visit. But yeah, those are the two I want to plug this week. And listings. We need more. We have buyers waiting, and I get nonstop calls, people looking for houses. So if anyone out there has a house they're thinking of listing, this is an awesome time to list. Weather's nice, lots of buyers, definitely a seller's market. I mean, It is what it is.
I'll talk to my wife.
Yeah, perfect.
He's Pete Allaer from Riverside Realty. Joins us on Saturday mornings with the All About Real Estate show. For more information, just go on your website. Website address again is?
Yeah, website, Riverside what is it? Yeah. Riverside. Just punch in Riverside. It'll come up. Yeah, reach out to any one of our team members as well. Go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Search out Riverside. The nice part about your name is when you search Riverside Realty, bam, it's right there.
Yeah, exactly. It's
easy to find.
It's easy to find. You punch in Riverside, or give us a call at the office, 519-627-3381.
Okay. He's Pete Allaer today. Thanks a lot for coming in today. That's the All About Real Estate show on 99.1 FM.